Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note about my readings, they are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you are a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three so that you can get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, we are going to look at your key to the week, which comes from your monthly tarot scope. So if you haven't seen your March video, please check it out. It will give you that general overview, and then we're going to look at the different areas of life. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless you, my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So quick note, if you haven't yet, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you haven't got your seat for the Intuition Activation webinar, you can do so on the link in the description box below. So your key to the week is the Fool card, right? So this is new energy, a new influx of everything, really. Whenever the Fool card shows up, it means that things are about to change. Now, usually the Fool card is kind of like a gentle change. It's not like, you know, the Tower card where everything is kind of upheaved and all the rest of it. It tends to be sort of more flowing sort of change, but it is change nonetheless. I like this for you because the Fool card is happy, it's bouncy, it's taking risks, but calculated risks. You know, it's not reckless. It can represent people that are being reckless, but I don't feel like it's that for you this week. I feel like you are ready for all the newness, all the new things, places, people and energy that are trying to find you. For your actions and options this week, you have the Five of Swords. Right, so this coupled with the Fool card. Just because you are ready to embrace change and move in new, different directions doesn't mean you have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. All right, so this week you could I don't think it's necessarily that you want to upset somebody on purpose. It kind of feels more, if I'm completely honest with you, like this week you're going to find it really, and you know, Geminis find it hard to stop talking anyway. Don't worry, I'm right there with you. I have, yeah, I'm not going to go into my personal stuff, but yes, absolutely, I get it. This week you might find it hard to not talk about the things that you're trying to do. It kind of feels like this week maybe more focus rather than more talking about it is going to be required from you, and you might find this really hard. Now that Mercury's moving forward, it's got that direct motion, there's a lot of this kind of forward momentum energy, and you could be feeling this more than anybody else because you are a Gemini. Now, as that's the case, you've got to find a week this week, you've got to find the energy this week where you are, what's the best way to say it is, like, you've still got to do the work, right? You can't just talk about it, you've got to be about it. All right, that's probably the easiest and the best way to put it. So for your communications and conversations, you have the Death card, which suggests to me that this week, keep a lid on it, especially if there's an idea that you're working on at the moment. This is not the time to talk about it. It's not the time to launch it out into the world. This is the time to do. This is the time to put foot to butt, all right? This is the time to be about it and show up. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, this could be you, for a lot of you, this could be you realizing that actually, you know what, this job no longer resonates with me. It doesn't, you know, you could be coming into the realization that your job doesn't allow you to grow anymore. Now, as a world interruption, I just got this message. I sound like a newscast. I just got this message just in. These three cards suggest that some sort of contract negotiations are going to break down this week. So that's a wider world stage message. I mean, maybe it applies to you guys personally, but definitely on the wider world stage, we're going to be seeing this. Now, the other way that this can show up is for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for yourselves. This is going to see you, maybe not necessarily losing a client, but it's like something about the boundaries has been blurred for a while, and this week I feel like they're going to be reset. So maybe you say to them, look, you know what, you don't pay me for this, and this is where I'm drawing the line. Or maybe that's outside of my remit, I don't feel comfortable doing it. There's something this week where you're reaffirming a boundary And it might cause a little bit of uncomfort at first. I don't see it being that detrimental though, if I'm completely honest with you. And then for those of you that are in retired or no longer working for any reason, I think a lot of you are coming into this realization of, you know what, I may not have work, but I'm not in the ground yet. There's stuff for me to do. There's stuff for me to continue on with in or with my life. This is you being really honest with yourself about what you require and deciding to step forward with it in some way, shape or form. For your money and materials, you have the 10 of Wands. Whatever challenges or issues you've had with finances, this week they finally start to lift, right? The 10 of Wands, a release of a burden of some sort, but it's also movement. And remember, Mercury rules the transactional nature of money. It rules that kind of exchange. When it goes retrograde, things tend to slow down, purchases go a bit or awry, as some people say. This week, your money, your finances are going to start to improve. And it looks like for those of you that have had an issue with a purchase that's been made, this week you will come to some sort of resolution with it, which is actually really good news. For your physical health and vitality, you want to look after your hips, your buttocks, your thighs, that whole sort of general area, and especially like your lower back as well. Pay attention to those things. And when it comes to the home and environment, quite frankly, this is going to be a week where you could feel that kind of walls are closing in kind of energy. Do you know what I mean? I think this is going to be a week where more than ever you do need more freedom in your life. And then for your love and relations, you have the Hanged Man. So don't rock the boat. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. If you don't need to, don't create any challenges or problems, right? This is a week for you to really hang back. And also, because this is right underneath the Death card, this would be a good week for you to, for those of you that are in relationships or partnerships, what are your desires? What are the things that you truly want and need from your partner? What are the things that you need in the bedroom, out of the bedroom? What are the things that aren't being discussed? What are the things that need to be reassessed, reevaluated? This would be a good week to, you know, take it easy, but it would be a good week to really delve into being honest about something, especially something that either does or doesn't work for you. Do you know what I mean? And then for those of you that are single, I'm going to say this, I think you'll be too busy with everything else for love. But if you are connecting with someone this week, it suggests, because it's the Hanged Man, it suggests that if this isn't somebody that you can connect with on a spiritual level, it kind of suggests to me that you'll say, no, you know what, I'm out. So for those of you that have somebody sort of in your sphere, this week you're going to be saying to yourself, okay, how do I resonate with this person at that spiritual level? Is there a connection between us? And if not, then maybe it's time to think about what the connection actually is and what it's actually going to be. There's a strong need for that this week, of being really honest about how you connect with someone outside of the normal realms. And the reason we say that is because this is the Hanged Man is Neptune. All right, so all right, take all of the nebulousness and the confusion and all that stuff out of it. What is Neptune? It's the higher octave of Venus, right? Some people have called it. And what does that suggest? It's harmony, it's transcendence, it's taking something beyond the normal, taking something beyond just the material or the practical. It needs that transcendental sort of energy behind it in order for it to be something real. And this is the week I think a lot of you are going to be looking at your relationships. For those of you that are single or newly seeing someone, and you're going to look at this and say, right, okay, what does the connection between us actually feel like? You know, not what would I like it to be, what does it actually feel like? Pay attention to that, because there's a clue there for you. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it goes for you, how it shows up, and take care, and I'll see you soon.